Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jacob Stant and I love reading and telling stories to kids of all ages. So this story is one of those you won't believe this actually happened kind of tales. It's about this guy who had a, let's just say, unusual encounter in a graveyard. And no, it's not your typical ghost jumps out and scares you story. This one's way weirder. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's get into it. Okay, so this happened a few years ago. I was living in this small town, the kind of place where everyone knows everyone and nothing really exciting ever happens. One night I was walking home from a friend's house. It was late, like past midnight, and I decided to take a shortcut through the old graveyard on the edge of town. I know, bad idea, right? But in my defense, it was a clear night, the moon was out, and I wasn't really thinking about it. As I was walking through the graveyard, I started noticing how quiet it was, like unnaturally quiet. No crickets, no wind, nothing. Just this heavy silence that made the back of my neck prickle. I tried to shake it off and kept walking, but then I heard something. It was faint at first, almost like a whisper. I stopped and looked around, but there was no one there. I told myself it was just my imagination and kept going, but then I heard it again, louder this time. It sounded like singing, a soft, eerie melody that sent chills down my spine. I couldn't tell where it was coming from, but it felt like it was all around me. I was about to bolt out of there when I saw her. At first I thought it was just a trick of the moonlight, but no. There was a woman standing by one of the graves. She was wearing this old-fashioned dress, like something from the 1800s, and her hair was long and dark. She was beautiful, but in a way that made my stomach twist. There was something off about her. She turned and looked right at me, and I swear my heart stopped. Her eyes were this piercing shade of blue, and they seemed to glow in the dark. She smiled at me, and for some reason I couldn't look away. It was like she had this pull on me. She started walking toward me, and I should have run. I know I should have run, but I couldn't. I just stood there, frozen as she got closer. When she was right in front of me, she reached out and touched my face. Her hand was ice cold, and I could feel this weird, electric sensation where her fingers brushed my skin. She leaned in and whispered, "You're mine now." And then she was gone, just like that. I blinked and she had vanished. I stood there for a few seconds trying to process what had just happened before I finally snapped out of it and bolted out of the graveyard. I thought that would be the end of it. I mean, how many people have a weird encounter in a graveyard and then never think about it again, right? But no, this was just the beginning. That night, as I lay in bed, trying to forget about what happened, I heard it again, the singing. But this time it wasn't coming from outside, it was coming from inside my house. I froze, my heart pounding in my chest, and then from the corner of my room I heard her voice, soft and haunting. "I'm here." Alright guys, that's where we'll end part 1. What would you do if you heard singing in your house at night? Do you think she's really there, or is it all in his head? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to tune in for part 2 to find out what happens next. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there.